to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey.
Let me greet each of you and thank you for coming out tonight. And it's glad to see that you survived the hottest day of the year. You came through all right. All of you look good. Even Bob looked good over there.
Oh, thank you. You do too. In that chair.
All right. So we'll call the meeting to order with the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion for approval of the agenda for the May 16th meeting as presented.
Second.
Yes.
Roll call.
All right. Alderwoman Tappan. Present. Alderwoman West.
Approved absence.
Alderwoman Reed.
Approved absence.
Alderman Merz.
Yes, here.
Alderman Jordan.
Here.
Alderman Christian.
Here.
Alderwoman Dales.
Present.
Alderwoman Avant-Elliott.
Present.
And Chief Item.
Present.
All righty.
Sorry.
All right, unapproved minutes. There were the unapproved minutes.
Make a motion for the approval of minutes for the May 2nd meeting.
One second.
Excuse me, Mayor. We didn't vote on the agenda. She interrupted you with a, for our attendance vote. We didn't approve the agenda. She just did a second, and then she interrupted. So we haven't approved agenda yet.
I thought we just had a roll call vote, approval of the minutes.
She
The
was,
roll call was for attendance.
Roll call for attendance, all right, thank you.
We need all in favor of the agenda approval.
All is the approval of the agenda.
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we don't need a roll call vote, thank you. Meeting will now be open to the public for, I'm sorry.
We need
Is there a
motion,
motion?
no, approval for the, agenda, the minutes. You need to ask for approval for the minutes.
I would like to approve, the May 2nd, minutes,
That motion was
With-
made.
I'll second.
I had on the unapproved minutes, Alderman Jordan moved for approval. I did not get a second except just now with Alderwoman Avant-Elliott.
All right,
That was Dale's.
okay, Dale, put Dale down for a second.
Okay.
Motion for approval.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now the meeting will be, is there a motion to open the meeting to the public? I'll do that. Meeting open to the public, and you may come forth.
And just say, are there any questions?
Are there any questions about the community grant?
Okay, gentlemen and ladies, we have, every year, and I think everyone who's here mostly knows that once a year, St. Louis County has a program, called Community Development.
Block grant.
Thank you. And, they, give us $29,500, it's through St. Louis County. We have to present it at a meeting, and if there's any questions on that, to give an explanation. 5 or 6 families that have already put in applications over the last few years, actually, the list is very long, will get help. It's about $4,000 to $5,000 each. We don't know who they are. We're just like the vessel between St. Louis County and the residents. And they get help, and there's stipulations, their income, they have to live there for so many years, or they have to give the money back. So basically, it's a formality, unfortunately. That's why I asked whoever hasn't signed and put their address on the sheet up at the podium, please do before you leave. St. Louis County wants to know that people were present when we talked about it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to come on up. Sorry.
Seeing none?
All right.
So,
He's doing that now.
yeah, the meeting will now be turned over to the public for comments for 3 minutes, please.
Mrs. Good, 9421. Mrs. Good, 9421 Dinky Drive. Excuse me. So I just have a comment. I did attend the planning and zoning meeting, May 13th, and I want to say it was one of the best meetings I ever attended. Michael's not here, the chairperson. It was very informative, even though there were a small group of citizens here, but it was a very productive meeting. So I really recommend residents to come out. We learned a lot just about the city and how we're gonna move forward. And then I definitely asked a question about the liquor grocery store, and I learned a lot from the planning and zoning because I didn't understand how they hadn't really quite got the logistics from planning and zoning yet. But the owner was able to come to the Board of Aldermen and talk to the residents about a business he's interested in. So they explained that, which was helpful. But I just thought that was really odd that he hadn't been to the planning and zoning based on ordinance or whatever the city rules are. But he could come and talk to the Board of Aldermen in front of residents and ask for approval. So that's just my comment. So hopefully we can get that together today. And I'm signing, Denny.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else have a comment?
Yeah, you'll be 10 minutes, I'll go first. Bob Dorr, 9815 Surrey Lane. Congratulations again, Tommy, on sitting in that big boy chair. My only comment is I'm here to thank Jenny Donovan for her years of service to this city. She's spent 8 years sitting there next to me. I appreciated every moment. I appreciated her guidance. And I think that this board needs to understand, she wanted to resign last fall. This is not a new thing here. I asked her to stay on because I did not want the responsibility of hiring someone to replace her when I knew I wasn't running for mayorship again. So I wanted the mayor, whoever that might be, to have that opportunity. And that's why she stayed on at my urging. Denny, thank you so much for all that you've done. I appreciate it. Good luck in the future, and retirement's wonderful.
Thank you.
Wanda Lane, 9915 Martingale. Couple of questions and statements and following up regarding the city clerk. Part of the workshop, there was discussion about filling that position. And I understand that we have now the treasurer position vacant, the collector position vacant, now the clerk position vacant. I know that we've been tap dancing around city manager for a long time. Does it make sense to try to funnel those salaries into, or that can be a stepping stone at least into a city management position. I know this isn't we're not having a discussion, it's just the way I'm thinking. So I was thinking that way. And also, I don't know what city clerk's immediate plans are, but I think that if it is as all as possible, if she could agree to stay on or have some kind of crossover time before we actually find somebody else to fill that position, because I don't think it's a very easy position to fill. And it would be better, in my opinion, if we would have a smooth transition for that, if that's at all possible. Regarding the store, that's, I think everybody knows, I vehemently disagree with that, especially based on what we saw at the location at Chambers and Diamond. That's not the kind of business that we want to have in our community. And we don't want to attract those kinds of patrons into our area. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Lee Harden, 10304 Bellefontaine Road, and congratulations, Mayor, as well. My comments are also concerning the convenience store. There are too many negatives that outweigh putting it in the community. They go back pretty far, and I don't want to make it a racial thing, but it goes back into African American communities where you put a store in, and if there are people who are below the poverty line, and I believe the census, 2019 census says that about 24% of families are at the poverty line, 21% of individuals, at least 67% of individuals 18 and under at the poverty line, and at least 18% of those 65 and over at the poverty line. When you put in a convenience store that frequents alcohol, the consequences outweigh the advantages when you establish something like that in the community.
Thank you. Anyone else? All righty. We will now hear committee reports, treasurer's report. Oh, come on, darling, you wanna?
I'm Vivian Peoples. How you doing?
Fine, how you?
Congratulations.
Thank you so
You're a
much.
person.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say that I've been on Bellefontaine in Rayford since 1999, and I bought that property, and I really made it beautiful, I thought. Well, some people don't like it, you know, but it's okay. But as far as the liquor store on that corner, I went and prayed over that liquor store. I'm hoping and praying they don't open it back up, because that's all we had was killing and dope and drugs and murder. And now, what I'm going through now, a guy broke up in my backyard. They already stole my air conditioner, stole my lawnmower out of my yard. So now another guy came up in there last week and moved my camera and went back to take my air conditioner, my other unit. So, you know, it's kind of dangerous over there at Rayford, because I'm on the borderline. I'm like Baden and Bellefontaine, right next to each other. So they come from Baden and do their dirty work in Bellefontaine right there, and then go back to Baden. So it's just kind of dangerous. My grandkids and my family, children can't play because they ride through there like they just going crazy. So it's kind of like I'm held hostage just in my own house, and I can't enjoy it. And it's like my husband and I working hard, paying taxes, and we can't even come out and enjoy the property or enjoy where we live at. So I'm hoping something can be done. And congratulations, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else? We'll move to our treasurer's report. Treasurer's right here. Anybody have any questions around the treasurer's report?
I would just like to make a comment. You all received the overs, but Alderwoman Avant-Elliott did bring it up at the pre-meeting. There is one more invoice for the, catering to you. So if you look, there was 13 on the original, it's 14 actually over 500s for a total of 81,170.54. So if someone could make a motion to approve those.
Did you give us, state the amount?
Total budget.
That's the total over 500, 81,170.54.
Yes, Christian.
I'd like to make a motion to approve 14 invoices for $81,170.54.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I hate this time.
Alderman, Elliott.
Second.
Second roll call. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, and so be
Thank you.
it. City collectors report, I don't know, we have a, do we have? Okay. So, you look at the, collectors report. Any questions? Is that motion for approval? No motion? All right, we'll move to, the chief's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things. Last month, we experienced a significant decrease in motor vehicle theft. I attribute it to the weather, since it's been changing. Like I've said before, a lot of our stolen cars come from opportunists or taking vehicles while they're running in the driveway. With the weather being balanced out, we had seen a lot less than that, but we're expecting that to go back up a little bit as the weather gets warmer, so I encourage people not to leave their keys in their car when it's unattended. The day after we last met, we had an incident that actually started in Riverview as a carjacking and ended up down at Jenks Station Road in 367, and it ended up in a shooting. And one of the vehicles rolled into and hit the building, the old journal building down there. Arrests were made, and the county police is actually investigating all of that. We just assisted. On the 6th, we had a homicide in the 1400 block of Comet. It was an isolated domestic issue. We do have a suspect identified, and we are currently searching for that person. And on special note, fraud still runs rampant through the mail and through email. Recently, we had somebody fall for what we still believe is a scam. Came out of New York. The person sent these people $5,800. In return, they received $8,300 in cash in a FedEx envelope. We did have the bank validate all the bills. The money is real, it's not counterfeit. We have no reason to seize it. However, I don't encourage you sending money to anybody you do not know. We're still investigating that from a police standpoint because we believe there's some sort of fraudulent activity involved with it. Today, the mayor and I interviewed 2 applicants for employment and gave out 2 conditional offers. And the citizen interview panel interviewed, I believe, 5 people today. And lastly, it's Police Week. I know and on behalf of the entire police department, thank everybody for the positive words, support. I want to specifically thank our police chaplains, 2 of them are here tonight, Chaplain Avant-Elliott, Chaplain Greg Warnes. I also want to thank Peg Warnes and Alderman Tapman. They fed the police officers Tuesday and Wednesday evening, and they had a chance to sit down and talk with quite a few of them, and the police officers really appreciate it. That's all I got.
I'd like to apologize for not making that retirement. But they told me this was a part-time job, but it's not working out that way.
Ha ha.
But you were smarter than that.
All right.
Let's find it out.
Any unfinished? I would say that's done. Any unfinished business?
Mayor Pearson?
A bill, how do I present this? Bill number 2544, introduced by Alderman Tatman. First reading was May 2nd. So, how do we proceed?
I would like to make a motion at this time that the ordinance number 2544 be tabled until the time that the governing body and our legal counsel can talk in closed session. That closed session is scheduled for May 22nd at 7:00 p.m.
No.
I thought we were gonna do.
We said 6:30.
Oh, I thought we were gonna try doing the next pre-meeting with the
Right.
attorneys, so it'd be
It's June 6th.
June 6th.
Okay.
Sorry.
I stand to be corrected, that's June 6th at our pre-meeting at 6:30 p.m.
It says 6:30.
So you would table the bill to the June 6th agenda.
Yes, sir.
So the motion is to table Bill 2544 to do the June 6th agenda.
And I second it.
Seconded by Alderman. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, new business.
Mayor Pearson?
Yes.
I don't think that she made her motion for the closed session to take place at 6:30 on that day, so. She was asking for, a closed session at 6:30 in a pre-meeting, and she only tabled the meeting for the next time, but did not do the closed session motion.
Correct.
So what are you doing?
So she needs to do her motion for the closed session that we discussed in.
And I'm making a motion that the ordinance number 2544 will be brought up in closed session scheduled for June 6th at 6:30 p.m.
If I may, the motion is just to hold a closed meeting at 6:30 on June 6th, for purposes of consultation with council.
Thank you, sir.
I'll second that. Second.
It's been moved and seconded by Alderman,
I also have a question, is the city attorney available at 6:30 that evening? It's a regular meeting, right? For those of us who are going to the training session in Columbia that day, it'll be speedy getting back. But I'm talking first thing in the morning, those who are attending the rest of the day.
Actually, I won't be able to.
So you're talking 6:30 a.m.?
That's cracking my dog, I don't know about you.
So what do we want to do?
Can we do a closed session on a different day if it's okay with the attorney? Maybe if everybody's available.
What's wrong tonight?
Are you available tonight?
I am.
Okay, you available tonight?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I thought you said he was.
Well, I'm making my fourth motion. That's what it's all about. I would like to make a motion that ordinance number 2544.
We're already tabled the bill, we don't need that. Just a question of holding the closed meeting.
Well, I bring to the floor a motion to have a meeting, a closed meeting this evening after the close of this meeting, the governing body and our legal counsel for consultation.
Second. on the second, is it, I just need
It's a roll call vote.
it's a roll call vote.
Alderwoman Tapman to go into closed session. Aye. Alderman Murs.
Yes.
Alderman Jordan.
Yes.
Alderman Christian.
Yes.
Alderwoman Dales.
Yes.
Alderwoman Avant-Elliott.
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
All right, so we'll move to new business.
Mayor? May I make the motion that was suggested about the community development grant being moved into the home improvement for next year? I hadn't made that, motion.
Okay.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to place the $29,500 from the community development block grant into the home improvements for the next year.
Is there a second?
I'll second it, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. The report of the mayor. I guess what I'd like to report to you is a little bit about what I've been doing to earn all this money you're paying me. I got this crazy idea that how we're going to deal with the complaints and the crimes in our neighborhood. I've learned, and we should all have learned over the past, that we cannot chase crime. It has to be prevented. So what I've done is I spent part of the day at Washington University and says to them that I want to organize our city around your own issues. Because I submit to you that every thief, every shooter, everybody that you have problems with come out of somebody's house. So we've got to organize our community around the issues so that we can head some things off. So I said to them, I presented to them the issues. We're coming to our universities, to draw up a plan for us, a citywide plan to help lead us to where we want to go. Everybody deserves the right to feel safe and comfortable in their homes, and to sit in your yard if you choose to, without anybody interfering with you. But you know that won't happen unless we begin to change people's minds about how to be community. And so that's something that I'm working, it's not gonna happen overnight, but we're working on it. We got started today. So I'm looking at this trophy somebody left up here. That's yours?
Yes, sir.
You mind if I read it?
No, sir, go right ahead.
It says to me, it says here, Bellefontaine Baptist Church, we are praying for you. And that's what I need you to do. I need you to pray for me, because we have a long, hard road ahead. And as I said to some of the people today, who, when you present a new idea, sometimes it's rejected right off and killed. It's like giving birth to a baby. Don't kill the baby before it's born. And so this is an idea that is being birthed. It's new, and don't kill it before it is born. Well, if I was at church, somebody would have said amen.
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 So, but I am determined to make this a good, safe neighborhood for everybody. and I've talked with the chief. Chief's on board with me, and we're gonna keep him abreast as we go along. It's not easy to get you to come out of your house and tell us the problems you're having. We don't want you snitching on nobody. If you tell us the problems that you're having, we'll figure out a way to address those issues. The drive-by shooting in front of my house about a month ago. I went up and talked to the father. You'd be surprised at what you get when you just talk to people. Don't shout at them, don't criticize them, talk to them. And say, we know there's a problem, how do we solve this problem together? We as city officials, we're here to aid you, not do it for you, because we can't do it for you. But I just believe we're gonna have a greater city. We already have a great city, but we're gonna have a greater city. When you can just walk up and down the street in the evening and enjoy yourself without anybody messing with you.
Amen. 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 That's what amen said.
Y'all made me lose my place. Okay. All right, what's next? What am I? Oh, yeah. All right, I got some other stuff here, you know, and I just told you about some of it. I attended the Riverview Garden School Board meeting the other night. And the chief said we interviewed 2 police officers this morning, and we'll be meeting with a number of other people, and try and make us a better city. Yes. All right, we do have an appointment tonight. Well, I wanted to, I gotta get me a second, not a second in the motion, but a second. Cause I left a letter in my truck and I just hated to get up and walk out, not that one.
Oh, okay.
I got another one. And I just hated to get up and walk out and everybody looking at me, wait a minute, is the mayor done quit already? But Mark Dickerson and I had a conversation this morning, and he came and he's retiring at the end of June. At the end of June. So he gave me a letter, and I was gonna read it, but unfortunately I left it in my truck. I'll read it at the next meeting. But we had a good conversation. I mean, he's not, he's been on that job for 42 years, and so it was, I think, I agree with him, it's about time to retire. So I ain't pushing him out, I ain't done nothing to nobody. Don't nobody accuse me of nothing, but if you give it to me, I took it. All right. No rumors, I ain't kidding nobody.
In defense of that, Mark was planning on retiring in December, but he stayed on to finish the park project.
Right.
That's exactly right. That's what he told me. So, okay, I just wanted to let you know that. Now, we do have an appointment and for a city judge. And that appointment is Attorney and Judge Judy Draper. Judge Judy. I asked somebody in my church, do you know a judge? She said, yeah, I know a judge. Who? Judge Judy. So I'm appointing Judge Judy tonight. Is that motion for acceptance?
Mayor, if you don't mind, do you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
read it, my dear.
All right, Judge Judy Draper was appointed an Associate Circuit Judge for the 21st Judicial Circuit in April 24. Her judicial assignments include civil matters. She received a BS from the University of North Carolina and a JD from Howard University. Prior to her current appointment, Judge Draper served as municipal judge in the municipalities of Berkeley and Northwoods. She is a member of the Missouri Bar Association, the St. Louis County Bar, the Missouri Asian American Bar Association, the Mound City Bar Association, and the National Asian Pacific American Bar Association. She's active with the St. Louis Transitional Hope House, the St. Louis Korean American Association, the Organization of Chinese Americans, Covenant Community Church, and the St. Louis chapter of Links. Among other leadership positions, she has held the position of Missouri Supreme Court Commission on Racial and Ethnic Fairness. She formed the court's Diversity and Inclusion Committee for St. Louis County judges and is an American Bar Association delegate. I would like to make a motion to accept the appointment of Judge Draper for our judge.
Second. Please, baby. Do I need a roll call? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay.
I opposed.
All right. One opposed.
42. I'm sorry, Alderman Jordan.
I said no.
Thank
you.
So does Christian.
Okay.
Ayes have it, 42.
Let's have it. All right. Thank you. All right, man. Report on the order. Okay, one other thing I need to do. I need to get an approval for, Helen, Barber and Melissa Stars to attend the annual Missouri Association Court, May 19th through the 24th. It's $200 plus $550 equals approximately $800. I need approval for them to go to that meeting.
You said May 19th through the 24th, so is that gonna leave our staff really short with both of them gone?
It's a requirement. They have to go to get their credits. And it's just
So
one of
could
those
one
things.
go and the other one, cause it's gonna leave us short staff?
We've had it happen before.
Okay.
What's the total? 800?
Total is $800,
For both.
for both, yes.
$800 total. I'd like to make a motion to approve, the attendance of the two individuals, at a cost of $800.
Okay. Now, just inform that this is $800 per person.
Oh, okay,
Is
so
that
it's $1,600 total. I would like the motion to approve, the attendance at a conference or training for a total of $1,600.
Second. Second by Alderman Marks. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposers? All right. All right, report of the order. Well, Alderman, let's start with Alderman Captain.
Good evening to the citizens. I'm glad to see you here. I hope you would take an opportunity to listen, take notes, ask questions, and then formulate even some ideas. We're here to listen to you as well as to share the ideas that we have. So thank you for coming. Only report I have is Chief Eiler made part of it is for the week of police appreciation, which is from the 12th through the 18th. I enjoyed having an opportunity to talk with our officers up close and personal, to talk about their personal lives, made them human. Sometimes we look at police officers and we don't put that human aspect on it. So an opportunity to conversate with them and also spend some time in the back bay and see what they have to work with back there. Also, I want to announce that we are working on a community-wide event tentatively scheduled for July 13th at Tanglewood Park. If any citizens would like to be a part of that planning, we're gonna have our police department and our fire department and our Recs department and our colleagues were coming together to have our first citywide event, bringing everyone together. And then also, it'll be informational as well, because you'll have the police department out there interacting, fire department. So this is where you can also find out what each department, how does it operate, what do they do? So again, that's July 13th, Tanglewood Park, 12 to 4. And if you'd like to be a part of that planning and have ideas for that, we welcome your input. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Welcome, everybody. Really had no report except to say, Kathy, thanks for the gift. I'll try it on and have to get a picture for you. Thank you.
I'd like to thank everybody for showing up tonight. It's nice to see some new faces, and hopefully you'll continue to show up and bring a friend. And I'm assuming you three young gentlemen over there working on your citizenship with the community?
Yes.
Keep going.
Thank you, Mayor. Just thank you to all of our police and Chief Eiler for the Police Week this week. Same as Alderwoman Tatman said, talk to them, visit with the police officers. As you get to know them more and see them, they become more human and you can relate to them better and everything. That's a good thing to do with the police officers and everything. Thank you, Denny, just for my year here. Any help and everything that you've given to me, that I appreciate it. So thank you. Enjoy retirement. We do have the Bissell Park. The sod was going down today and trees were being planted, so that is coming close to an end. So it's starting to look more like a park and not a pile of dirt like it has been for a while. So that will be coming to completion shortly. That is all I have tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm glad to see you gentlemen here. I have a lot. Right now we're gonna be dealing with the U.S. Census that's coming up, and I need to form committees. And I'm asking everyone who lives in this city if you will be interested in being on the committee. And I'm also asking my colleagues if they would help me and assist in being on the committees as well. Some of the things that I plan to do is starting maybe block units, and that's also going to help the mayor with his vision moving forward. Some of the things that he talked about at the beginning of the meeting. So hopefully, if you will be willing to help on the committee, be a part of our block units, and help with our U.S. Census, that's because that's going to help us get our tax dollars. On the 25th, and I'm asking my colleagues, the 25th of this month, Better Family Life, they're going to be having a Peace Fest this fall. And they're asking for all of the elected officials here in North County to gather and see if they want to have an input. So I'm asking if you all will be willing to help. And that's going to be here at City Hall at May 25th at 11 o'clock. It's just going to be just a gathering to see what you can do if you want to do something, and that's just for elected officials if you want to be a part of it.
That's May 25th at what time?
11 o'clock. I already asked my board if they would consider, my colleagues, the Board of Aldermen, if we would consider maybe seeking out a new computer company for administration. The building department has been down for a month and a half, emails, so that's just something that I want us to think about, moving forward. I wanted to ask the attorney, but I'll do this later, if he can give me some numbers on the ordinance. And I wanted to ask the mayor, who was the person that was named for the school district representing Bellefontaine? Do you know?
Oh, that was
Mary Oswald.
Mary Oswald.
Mary Oswald. Okay. And also, thank you, Denny, for your service. I appreciate it. I'll call you multiple times tomorrow so I can really get on your nerves and make it a really outgoing place for you, okay?
I expect nothing less.
I thank everyone for coming out. Gentlemen, if you, I know we're going into the closed session. Do you live here in Bellefontaine?
Yes.
Okay, can I ask them?
Can you just finish your report?
Well, I know we're going into closed
I
session,
want
but.
to say something about that.
Okay, but I still would like to meet you. I'm so happy that you're here. And thank everyone for coming. We appreciate you all. And we thank you for the comments, wanting to keep the community up. Thank you.
Mayor, based on our pre-meeting, the committee, the board discussed, 2 meeting dates that we wanted to, make a motion to vote on tonight. They would be to discuss potential salary scales for, vacant positions and the budget review. So do I have permission to give a motion?
Yes.
Okay, I would like a motion, for us to meet on, May 22nd and on May 30th at 7 p.m. for a salary scale and budget discussion.
Give me a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay.
And I would like to share my appreciation for Denny for her years of service and the service this year. I have asked for numerous documents and information, and she has assisted me with that and gave me pushback on other things that I may have asked for, but we will get things done, and I appreciate that she has extended her service beyond her time to assist the person with transition. So I really appreciate that. The May Day Parade is on this Sunday. I will be serving as a judge for the May Day Parade, so I'm excited that I was asked to do that. So please come out and support the May Day Parade. And I don't think there's any additional events that I can think of at this time.
Bike rodeo.
Oh, the bike rodeo is Saturday.
10 to 1.
Okay, so the bike rodeo is this Saturday from 10 to 1. So if you have children, please have them to come and participate in the bike rodeo. So I will post something on Nextdoor about that as well. And once again, to the police, we will provide them a sweet treat. So we appreciate your service to the community, and we look forward to all the wonderful things you will do with the community based on your future plans. We did one last thing, since you was not here, we did discuss possible workshops on Saturdays beginning in July as a recommendation by Jordan to begin our strategic planning conversations as an Alderman board. So please look for additional information around strategic planning. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Good deal. On the list, yes.
I apologize. I forgot to give a shout out to our police department. I am so sorry, but they have been super, super, super fabulous. One was my mistake in my house, and I thought when they drove up on me, I got scared. And last night there was something that happened in Ward 4, and I mean, in a matter of seconds, they were there. I just want to tell you guys, we have some really, really good police officers, and I appreciate them so much. So shout out to them. One thing that Michael from Planning and Zoning, he wants to know, and I need to share this with our colleagues, and that was a part of what Miranda was talking about. He wants to know if we can go into a closed session so we can talk about his vision and your vision together. So, we can set that at the next meeting when it comes.
Can't do a closed.
All right, we're going into open session now. We're opening up to the public for any comments you may have, but before you come, my dear, and you'll be next, I do want to recognize these scouts here. Just stand up and so we can recognize. appreciate you being here tonight. This is your city, and I see that you're concerned about it, so you're coming to your city government to see how it operates, and I invite you to continue to do that. Anytime you'd like to talk to me, don't hesitate. I'm your mayor, and so thank you very much.
Peg Warnes, 10030 Creek Drive. I have a great concern about the appointment of Judge Draper that was just made at tonight's meeting. I understand that we have, or the mayor has the privilege of appointing a new mayor to the city when he takes office. However, Judge Draper was recently removed from the circuit court. 48% of the people, of her colleagues, voted her out of office. 60% of the voters who voted in the November 7th election said she should not return to office. And so this is the person we just selected to be our mayor, our judge for our court. I don't think that makes our city better. I think it makes it worse because of her reputation.
Thank you. There was an effort by judges and some attorneys who didn't like some of her decisions, and they started a movement to have her removed, which I disagreed with and many others, and it does not disqualify her from being a city judge. Anyone else?
Colonel Jones, 1122 Wentworth Drive. It is written that a tree is known by the fruit it bears. In the pursuit of a true utopia, we hope that it can be accomplished. And in this change around, we were hoping that things can work accordingly with everybody. I hope that two things, that I live to see it accomplished or grow some more hair.
Well, I agree with you, then I can do the same thing.
Wanda Lane, 9915 Martingale. I agree with my neighbor regarding Judge Draper. I do understand the politics behind everything, but I also understand that we as citizens rejected her. We did not vote for her. And that's a different kind of thing, when citizens vote and share our voices. I understand it's your prerogative, but we have a judge who lives in our city who I thought would make a wonderful municipal judge, but so be it. At the pre-meeting and a couple other meetings, there's been some talk about the sunshine law and the sunshine, how much our attorney is burdened with sunshine requests. I don't know that that's a fact, but I do know that in the book that I have that's entitled The Sunshine Law, I did not see anything in here that refers to an informal meeting. We had there was a meeting on April 15th, City of Bellefontaine Neighbors at 7 o'clock. The Board of Aldermen is meeting to discuss city business and the address. And this was what was on the table. It was blank. There was nothing there. Between this day and I don't know when this showed up, April 15th, 2019, what was on the city's website was an agenda, which we did not get when we were at the meeting. It stated that Mayor Dorr convened the meeting at 7 p.m. at City Hall and stated this is an informal meeting to discuss the 2018-2019 and 2019-20 budgets, although this is not a budget committee. The city clerk was not present to make notes because we were told it was an informal committee, an informal meeting. My concern is, and you were not here, Mayor, in full disclosure, but when I submitted a sunshine request in June of 2017, part of the response I got from the Attorney General's office states, we want to make the city aware that the inconsistencies between what was listed on public documents and expressed during a public meeting, blah, 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 cause confusion and raise concerns about how the city conducts its business. Our office hopes that this matter has been addressed in such a way to avoid future concerns. So I'm going to say, when one thing is printed here for the citizens to see and something else completely different shows up on the website, which has conveniently been removed, that's confusing to the citizens. And it raises questions that there may even be innocent explanations, but the inconsistencies, we have a history of that, and I hope that we don't continue that in the future.
Anyone else? Then we will bring the meeting back, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Oh, not yet? That's right. Anybody like to say? Everybody's been talking for a
Usually I would prepare something because I get real nervous, but I want to say something from my heart, so if I say it or if I miss something, I apologize. This may be my last meeting, I'm not sure. I want to say that working with the previous mayors, Mayor Dorr, Mayor Rudloff, and Tommy Pearson right now has been a joy, and I've been very lucky. I don't know how I got so lucky, but a great group of men, and I thank you guys for that. Mark Sanders and the street department, you couldn't ask for a better bunch of people. These guys, I used to think that when I asked them to do something, that they were just scared, thinking I was being bossy, let me, I'll do it to shut her up. That wasn't true. They did it because they knew if I asked them, it was something that the residents needed. They are so conscientious to try and help wherever they can. I cannot go on more than I can, but it's wonderful. The rec center, Mark Dickerson and his group. These guys have been together for so long, honestly, I think they're finishing each other's sentences. I mean, you're talking 20 and 30, and now Mark 40 years. That's dedication. He wouldn't leave until that park was done. Give him credit, please, because it's very much due. I enjoyed working with the city engineer, Calvin Klein, I always say that, Clayton Klein, Bill Kren, the treasurer, Joe and Kelsey in the building department. Now my ladies, Lori, Alyssa, Judy, Semi, Helen, and Angie, and Sherry works on the maintenance. These ladies wear so many hats that I can't believe their hair still stands up the same way at the end of the day. That is a prerequisite. They knew it coming in, that I require everybody to help each other out. I'm amazed that they continue. I'm amazed that we've been short-staffed and they continue to do their work. Honestly, I think I'm the only one complaining. They don't complain. We have a lot of fun, but I think we're good for the residents and the community. And like the Scarecrow would say, I'm gonna miss them most of all. I don't wanna let my staff down. I will do what I can to help them. Chief Eiler and his police department are top rate. Just the top rate is, it's not I'm getting nervous, I'm sorry. Just a top-notch group of guys and ladies. Again, I think that's all I have to say. I apologize if I forget someone. I will add, I've been through many boards and everyone wants what's best for the community. I have to say that I am not interested in the politics. That's kind of been my downfall, because that's just not my thing. I will do anything for a resident. I will do anything to make this community better. The politics is not my forte. So if I let anyone down, I apologize. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening, and I'm sorry I was nervous, but thank you, everyone.
Well, since you talk like this,
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. My city attorney. I'm sorry. I think he kicked me all the way over here. Not only a city attorney, a friend to everyone here. Thank you for your patience and your time, sir. You're welcome. Let's close it up.
Well, thank you so much. I've enjoyed all 4 weeks of working with you. And I wish you well on your vacation. And then on your retirement, and on that vacation, you can take long as you wish. So it has been an honor. So with that being said, the meeting is adjourned.
You need a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, is that a motion to adjourn?
I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting and go into closed session at this time.
A second.
Alderman Christie?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We're going to closed session.
Thank you, Chief.